Hello everyone, I'm RJ Mamula. Again, if you are liking this channel, please subscribe to it and like the videos. And today I am going to talk about Pascal's wager. Pascal's wager is a philosophical concept started by a philosopher named Blaise Pascal. Pascal's wager says that it is safer to believe in God if there isn't a God than to not believe in God if there is a God. Here was his reasoning. Basically, if you go through life not believing in God and just doing whatever you want, then if you die to discover there is a God, you go to hell, it's too late. He maps out different scenarios of what your options are. Option 1, you believe in God and there is a God. So you live a life of good deeds, sacrificing instant gratification, and then you die and you go into a life of paradise, or at least you lived a well-meaning life, or something along that lines. Now, if you believe in God and there is no God, yeah, you wasted a life of more pleasure, but at least you lived a life of purpose and meaning. That's scenario number 2. Scenario number 3 is you don't believe in God and there is a God, which is you go through life doing your own thing, and then when you die, you're screwed. And then the 4th scenario is you believe in, or you don't believe in God and there isn't a God. So you just live a life of instant gratification doing your own thing, and you die and you've really lost nothing as a result. There are many criticisms of Pascal's wager, and I myself am critical of it, and I am going to give my criticism now. Basically, there are many different religions. There are many different gods different people believe in. So even if you believe in a God, how do you know you're believing in the right God? So it's not just 4 scenarios as Pascal came up with. It's many, many other scenarios, because what if you believe in Buddha and the right God is Zeus? So that's an important criticism and flaw of Pascal's wager. Another problem with Pascal's wager in my mind is that it assumes that God expects and requires us to believe in him, and that he expects certain behaviors of us during this lifetime. Now, some people will argue that there is sufficient evidence for God's existence, to which I respond, even if there is, it requires a process of reasoning to come to that realization. You have to put 2 and 2 together to come to the realization that God is for real. So why wouldn't God make it more obvious, make it more easier, completely obvious, so that it's undeniable that he does exist? Now, others can argue, well, it's his perfect right. He can hide his existence if he wants and then still hold us accountable, and, that too can be argued. But for this, I am going to fall back on Occam's razor, which I talked about in my previous video. The theory that the simplest explanation is the most likely explanation. To me, the simplest explanation is simply that a God would not require us to believe in him if he didn't make it that obvious that he exists. He wouldn't make us jump through too many hoops to come to the right conclusion. That is the simplest explanation, and therefore that is the most likely explanation. So those are my thoughts on Pascal's wager, and I would like to hear your thoughts, so please put them in the comments.